Hey friends, welcome to an episode of Minecraft Education plus Programming. In this video, we'll talk about how to program with JavaScript by using various functions that Minecraft is providing to us. Now, we come into this with the mindset of a builder. Right now, I'm in the, I think it's called creative mode, which means I don't have any enemies, so I can just spend my time building pyramids or the Taj Mahal or what have you. Now I've created this house manually, brick by brick. If you ever build something in Minecraft, you know that you're just placing blocks like so. This becomes tedious, especially if you're trying to create something that is like the pyramids. You know, if it's 1,000 by 1,000 block, that's a lot of work. Fortunately, there is a way for us builders to have a tool. So I'm going to move over here. I've been playing around a little bit, you can see that, to an open landscape. Now, what I want to accomplish is to show you how powerful coding can be when you are a creator in Minecraft. Placing myself here, I bring up something called Code Builder. Now, Code Builder is something that allows us to enter code. You have the blocks mode. Click here, you can see how it becomes blocks. You might have seen that in other things like MakeCode, for example, or Scratch. But we also have a code window with JavaScript, and if we don't like JavaScript, we can switch into Python. Whatever you choose to use, know that there are three different options if you're using Minecraft and Minecraft Education to code. We will switch back into JavaScript because we know if we learn JavaScript this way, then we can later use it for web pages and what have you. Now, in this case, I've created 3 for loops. Loops are a construction that enables me to run several statements at once. I'll just show you what this one does. I'm going to change that into that. I'm going to knock myself out here of this. But what this one created was a construction here, a sphere of blocks. So what happened? Well, let's take it from the beginning and build ourselves our way up. Let's take away the loops and just focusing on our block. Now, blocks place, this is something that someone who works at the Minecraft team has already built for you. And this is the case with a lot of programming, that someone else have built functionality. They've built functions ready for you to use. And this is why we're doing this in the context of Minecraft, to say like, hey, there's an API, there's a collection of functions that we can already use, but we might also need to write our own code. So when we use blocks place, what we're telling it is to place a block in the Minecraft world of type dirt, but also to position it. So position is a function and it takes X, Y, and Z. And instead of having these alphabetic characters, let's just do numbers. Now, I don't want the block exactly where I'm standing because it's not easy for me to see it. But it would be super cool if I can build something up in the air. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to place it on the 10th of Y equals 10. Let's place it and look up. There we have it. I've created a floating block. Isn't that awesome? So if I want a house in the sky, I can just keep on building it. I can even be standing here if I want to. That's great, but it's not going to create me a pyramid, right? Or even a bigger house. But let's say I have this grand plans. Instead of having this small cabin that I started to build somewhere, where was I? Yeah, over here, right? You can see in the distance here how we built this small house for ourselves to make sure that we don't get wet, as it's now currently raining in the game. But I want to build a house slightly larger than that one, but I don't want to do too much work. So I need to establish a way for me to build a wall. The way to build a wall is to make sure that, well, I could be doing this, right? I could be doing blocks place, and maybe I want to do dirt again, and this time let's shift the X value to 1. Well, maybe I want to do that one more time. I think you get the idea, right? I have 3 blocks so far. If I run these 3 statements, it will give me 3 blocks. Now, this isn't so impressive, right? So I'm just going to take that away. But what if I wanted a wall with a length of, I don't know, 30 or 40? Do I really have to have 30 or 40 statements in a row? No, I don't. So what I do instead is to use this looping construct. By using a looping construct, I can repeat this statement a number of times. So I use the for keyword. I do let I equals 0, I less than, I say 30, right? I want a length of 30. I do I++. This means that for every iteration in the loop, it's going to increment by 1. And like so. You also want to indent. Code should be easy to read. So now what I'm doing is, I don't want to repeat the exact same statement, but I want to use this variable. So I've created a variable called I. That means every time I'm referring to I, it's looking at whatever value it might have. And I'm changing it for every iteration in the loop. So first time it's going to have the value 0, second time the value 1, and so on. So it's going to do this, it's going to call this blocks place 30 times, and the last value that I will have is 29. Right, so let's see if this works. Whoa, that was a lot of blocks, right? And we could even see it in real time as it's being built. This is great, we're thinking, right? But this isn't really a wall, right? This is a foundation at best. So what we want is another for loop. If you add another for loop here, let's call it j. Let j equals 0. Can't even spell right now. Not sure what it's doing. There. J less than 30. And incrementation as per usual. Let's try to indent this. But we want to affect something else at this point. We want to affect the height, right? Because we're talking about a wall. We've laid the foundation, but we want it to shift. And this means that now in the first value here of j, when j equals 0, then it will place out 30 blocks when j or y in this case. You know what? Let me actually rename these variables so they make sense. Let's call them y. Code should be readable. So let's do x. Now we know exactly what's going on, right? Because what we're saying, when y equals 0, then place 30 blocks, and then it jumps up and say, okay, now that y is 1, we still want to do the same thing. We still want to create that foundation, but one level higher up. And by running this code, we're going to end up with something really interesting, which is a wall. Now, brace yourselves. We got built in, right? Because we're actually standing here. And yeah, when you're doing this, you don't want to move around your character, because if you do, the blocks will be placed exactly where you're facing, right, camera-wise. So if you start doing this or that, you will see how the blocks are being dispersed in different directions. Probably gonna be that. Right, exactly. You saw me moving out of this, so now it's building it with a slight offset. So while things are building in Minecraft, you need to stay exactly still or things will happen. But as I said, this is creating a gigantic wall. This is almost like building a gigantic Valhalla, am I right? This is not some small cabin anymore. And this is how you, as a Minecraft builder, can utilize JavaScript code to do things for you. This is what I thought I'd go through in the first video, just to see if this is something that you'll like to watch. I know that I like playing Minecraft, but I like it even better when I can combine Minecraft with my programming skills and that of JavaScript. So yeah, if you like this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll hopefully see you in another video just like this. Bye for now.